Everyone is trying to get rich, and everyone on social media seems to have a solution. Buy this, follow that, buy this coin, and then this crazy investment, and it seems like a never-ending stream of the next thing that will make you rich. Or to kind of put it another way, get rich quick, which always leads to staying broke in the end. So I'm going to approach this from the exact opposite direction. I'm going to tell you the 6 things you need to stop doing to actually get rich. Because even if I give you the 69 secrets to getting rich, if you keep doing these 6 things, they still wouldn't work. I'm sorry, it's going to be a bit personal here, but I'm bringing you guys the truth, not a bunch of hype and hopium that never works out in the end. Number 1 is to stop being scared of risk. The riskiest thing you can do with your financial future is take no risk whatsoever. You want to guarantee inflation eats away all your money? Put it in a savings account instead of investing your money. You want to ensure that you'll never make $1 million a year? Then never start a business and keep right on working for a wage where you are guaranteed to never make that much money. Want to be exactly like the 99% instead of the 1%? Then keep right on taking the safe route of getting a good job, get a house, 2 cars, 2 kids, 2 dogs, and a white picket fence. By doing all of this, you will feel safe, I agree, even though you are actually taking on the most risk. You are taking on the riskiest behavior you could by doing that. One of the biggest lies in modern society is that breaking away from the 99% is quote unquote risky, when in actuality, the riskiest thing you can do is stay in the 99%. Which leads me perfectly into number 2, which is not leveraging your job to get a side hustle going. One of the best things about having a job is that it can sustain you while you are getting your side hustle kind of going, relieving kind of the pressure of having to make short-term decisions just simply to pay the bills. Your job is giving you the perfect opportunity to get that side hustle going so you don't have to worry about bills and can instead build out the side hustle for sustainable long-term growth. So let me give you guys a quick example here. If you wanted to be a YouTuber, it takes on average 6 months to a year to get monetized. And while that's exciting and you get really excited until you realize your first YouTube check is like 12 bucks, something like that. It's hardly enough to replace your income, but it's a start and you don't have to worry because your job is taking care of those bills. You can continue to cultivate the relationships with your viewers, get better at making videos, and learn all the various business opportunities that can eventually come your way with a YouTube channel that can replace your job in the future and make more money than you ever made at your job in the future. The process is very similar regardless of the type of business you're looking to start. Now, another example is if you want to start looking or you want to look at starting a dog walking business, it won't blow up tomorrow, guys. I'm sorry, it's just not. It takes time, but it absolutely can be built into $1 million a year business. And I'm being serious, guys. It absolutely can be. There are videos out there with examples of other folks who have done exactly that with exactly that type of business, to include dog walking. Literally anything you think of can be turned into a great business if you take the time to do it right, which leveraging your job gives you the time to do it right. And speaking of time, number 3 is to stop spending your time unwisely. Look, guys, it seriously took me 3 years to finish the Michael Jordan Last Dance documentary. Most folks finish it up in a week. It took me 3 years to finish it. It didn't take 3 years because I was watching Game of Thrones or football or basketball or whatever the case is, or all those other things that kind of get in the way of your regular TV viewing. I simply prioritize spending my time growing my businesses instead of watching TV. And over the course of 3 years, that is all the extra time that I could allocate to watching a TV show. Now, sadly, most people just flat out lie about their time. They say they don't have time to learn how to invest or start a business, but they can tell you what is going on with their favorite sports team in every single sport. They can tell you what is going on with politics. They can tell you what is going on with the geopolitical things all going on all around the world. They can tell you what is going on with their family members and friends and everything else on social media, and what is going on with the latest hot show out there on Netflix or HBO or whatever the case is. And it's usually not just one show. It's many shows because you watch a show or two with your kids, right? And maybe you got a show or two that you watch with your spouse. And of course you need time to yourself, so you have your own special shows too that you watch. That is a lot of hours every week spent watching TV, social media, etc. And here's the data to back it up. The average person right here in the US spends 2.5 hours a day on social media alone. That is 17.5 hours a week you could be spending on your side hustle. That is massive. Oh, and by the way, guys, it gets a lot worse. The average person in the US spends 3 to 4 hours a day watching TV. That is another 21 to 28 hours a week. So basically, the average person is spending as much time watching TV and on social media as they are at work. It's another full-time job you're keeping up with all that goofy stuff, and you aren't being paid a dime to do so, nor are you building up your skills that will make you money in the future. So saying you don't have time is probably simply not true. You just don't want to spend the time in that manner. If you've ever done an actual time audit before and accounted for every hour over the course of a month, chances are you fall somewhere around the averages during that time. And what is worse is that you don't even know it in some cases. So that is all time that is completely wasted versus being spent on getting you closer to actually being rich. So number 4 is stop living outside your means. This is one of the biggest wealth killers, if not the biggest. There are plenty of millionaires out there who are teachers or, middle managers or supervisors or postal workers or any number of normal jobs with everyday folks, not entrepreneurs, not executives, not athletes, nor famous people, nor people that inherit their money. It's 80-something% of all new millionaires are new millionaires. They did not inherit their wealth at all. They're just normal, everyday people. But I don't know a single wealthy person who doesn't live within their means and made that a priority before ever making money. So they were doing it when they were making 20K, long before they ever getting rich later on in life. I know people who make $500,000 to $1 million a year and are dead broke. They're literally making $1 million a year, but no closer to being a millionaire than the kids sacking their groceries or a waitress at the restaurant where they last ate at. That's sad, but that is absolutely true. If you cannot live within your means at $50,000 a year, you won't do it at 100,000, you won't do it at 200,000, and so on. To say that if you had as much money as so-and-so, then you would live below your means, but you don't live below your means right now, it's honestly, you're just fooling yourself. You're just lying to yourself. The numbers are against you. There will always be a bigger house or a nicer neighborhood or a better schools or a safer car. And you and your family will always deserve a great number of things that will put you living above your means sooner rather than later if you have bad money habits. More money doesn't fix bad money habits. A higher income doesn't correct poor spending discipline. In most cases, it actually makes it worse. Those that want to be rich lived below their means before they ever became rich. So on to number 5, which is to stop investing in things you don't understand. I agree that owning stocks is a great way to build wealth, and I have another channel dedicated to that all by itself. And I also agree that real estate is one of the best wealth generators in the history of the world, and I own a lot of real estate as well. But you must take the time to understand them before investing in those assets. If you don't, you will fall into the trappings of the 99% once again and fail as an investor. If you don't know how to value a stock, for example, do due diligence on a company, understand the opportunity with the company, what is the total adjustable market, listen to the earnings calls, read the 10Ks, and a ton more, then you end up in a situation that many have found themselves in the past where you're, basically YOLOing into penny stocks or other high-risk stocks at the height of the market crash or market craze, really, in 2021, only to see your money get cut down by 80%, 90%, or losing it all. Stocks can be a great investment, but you must put in the time to understand them intimately, and that just simply takes time. But it's much easier, I would agree, to watch a YouTube video and then go YOLO options with GameStop instead of taking the route that is learning how to invest and then doing it the right way. The same exact thing goes with real estate as well. I distinctly remember being told by friends and family and coworkers that I was an idiot for not buying real estate in 2007. And to be fair and clear, I had no idea what was coming or what was going on. I just knew the numbers didn't work, so I wasn't going to buy until the numbers worked. And then 2 years later, after everything cratered, when you could buy property for pennies on the dollar, I was crazy to be buying and stupid because real estate is a terrible investment, despite it being the opportunity of a lifetime. And of course, today, according to those same folks across the board, I just got lucky in both instances. The actual truth is, I understood the investment, and all those people did not. So make sure you only invest in things you understand, and it's okay to not understand it all up front. Pick one that interests you and dive in, then you are set up for a lifetime of better investing as you continue to learn. And finally, number 6 is to stop buying into get-rich schemes. This one seems easy, but it's actually not. Human nature is to get rich as fast as possible, and sometimes, honestly, it happens. But 99.9% of the time, it is fool's gold. Like that can't miss NFT. You remember those? People couldn't get enough of those things. It's just JPEGs of a monkey on a computer, and somehow it's going to make you millions of dollars. I don't know. Or penny stocks like we saw in 2021. Or that property in the middle of the valley in some small dying town that has 200 people, but somehow can support a new neighborhood full of $500,000 homes that, according to the builder, were going to go up 100K in value every year because they had basically pushed the price up 100K a year each, for the past couple of years. That is a true story, by the way. I was pitched that exact investment in 2027. It was easy to walk away from because it made absolutely no sense. But a lot of other folks lost their life savings because of the greed to get rich quick and make a quick $100,000, according to that builder, easy. You don't have to do anything. Just simply put the money into it. Next year, you can turn right around and sell it to the next person and make 100K, or you can hold on to it and make 200K the next year. That was the pitch, and that was crazy. If it requires no work and makes you a ton of money fast, there might be a problem there. And instead of getting excited, I would get really cautious. But I have friends and family who have spent a lifetime chasing various get-rich-quick types of investments, and they are no better off today than they were 30 years ago. They had periods of time where sure it went well, but over the long run, they are no better off today than they were 30 years ago. They would actually be rich if they just put all that money in a simple index fund and done nothing else except stop doing these 6 things we talked about today. And if you're ready to retire in as quick as 1 year and on as little as $300,000, check out the pinned comment for the blacklist, where we have a team of experts and a complete system to walk you through from zero to hero, step by step. I'm right there to support you along the way. Check it out. It's the pinned comment. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.